Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister, Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for all those of you who are tuned into Jordan's here on the broadcast today. Thank you, and thank you. And remember that our premier sponsor for Real Talk Sports and high school football is Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. Please give them a call, 678-364-3979. If you're looking for a vehicle for yourself or for your business, we are the best place to do it over at Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. Well, we're going to get right to it, guys. It was a big weekend in the world of sports. And I have a couple of gentlemen that are going to help us dissect and chop up what we saw, which, if you were from Georgia, it was a good weekend. First of all, a young man who's doing some great stuff here in the local community down here, just outside of downtown Atlanta on the south side. He has a nonprofit, and he has a wonderful book called A Student Athlete Playbook. I'm talking about my good friend, the one and only Barry Brown is in the building. Mr. Brown, welcome back, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Minister Jonathan Simmons. Yes, sir. How you doing this evening?
I didn't get the little crowd noise. I got to work on that. Some sound effects. There we go. And a guy that also is very happy this year because the team he is covering is moving their way up the ranks. I'm talking about the guy that covers the Yellow Jackets down the flats, the one and only Rod Kenzie is in the building. Rod, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me, and it's good to be with you guys as always. And of course, I
Yes,
saw
sir.
Mary on Saturday.
You know, man, there you go. Now, I'm going to put this guys up because let me see if I have a clip here because this is what's been going on in the flats all year long. Yes, indeed. Down on the flats, they have what we call in Atlanta, they've turned it up. Georgia Tech is balling out. And Rod, you have been there to see it up close and personal. Unbelievable. The Jackets are now 6-0 after their big win over Virginia Tech. Talk to us a little bit about that game. Jackets seem to have it in hand all the way. And a new star, I shouldn't say a new star, but a gentleman that had been kind of on the back seat for most of the games, balled out. Talk to us a little bit about that game and what was the key for Tech being so dominant in their 35-20 victory over Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the interesting thing in the game, you look at the final stats, 268 yards rushing, 278 passing, and you look at the total stats for the 6 games in the season, and passing and rushing are only like 10 or 15 yards difference. So the Buster Faulkner has been dialing it up, mixing it up, not being letting teams dial in on what he's trying to do. And you're talking about Malachi Hosley. You know, he comes here from Penn, Player of the Year in the Ivy League, and all he has to do is beat out a guy who was all ACC in Jamal Haynes. And you know, last year they didn't have a guy to really push Jamal because everybody was injured. So now he comes along. He gives them a change of pace. And I think one of the biggest things Faulkner's done this year is he's put both guys in the backfield at the same time, puts one guy in motion, leaves the other guy in the backfield, and teams don't know where to keep their eyes, And of course, in playing defense in football, keeping your eyes in the right place is huge. And I think that's one thing that Buster takes advantage of.
So that's where the Falcons got that from, playing two backs. Now we know. Yeah. Georgia Tech, let's look at these stats. Like you said, Owsley had a big game for Georgia Tech. 11 for 123, 11 yards a carry. Jamal Haynes, he made his fingerprints on the vehicle as well. The vehicle, Lord have mercy, I'm still working at work. On the game as well, 14 carries, 69 yards. And, of course, as always, Mr. Do-It-All, Haynes King, 14 carries, 50 yards himself. Yeah, Georgia Tech was just dominant both in the passing and in the rushing game. And you mentioned, Rod, the balance is just stunning. 400 and looks like 81 yards of total offense, 213 in the air, 268 on the ground, 7.3 yards per play. I guess that dog will hunt all day, right?
Yeah, their yards per play ranks 9th nationally right now. So they're really dialing up the offense. And I don't know about Barry, but when I was sitting in the press box, I just had the feeling that Tech could score every time they had the ball. I mean, it was just a feeling you got by watching them and the confidence that you're starting to get in what the offense is doing, especially with the way, some of these offensive linemen are turning out to be maulers, and you see them downfield knocking people over, especially on that one Haynes King run that went for a touchdown. You saw a couple guys downfield getting key blocks. So things are moving forward, and the main thing, like Key said today, he doesn't think the team has peaked yet, and he takes that as a good sign because he feels they can still get better.
Yeah, and that's incredible because, like I said, again, this is the best season we've seen out of the Jackets since over a decade when Coach Paul Johnson was here and running the running grind machine. So, yeah, man. And I got to ask you a question. Normally, I know Coach Key tried to keep it low key, but do you ever see the hint of glee? Because this guy was a lineman, by trade, and to see his teams maul him up, I know I know he must be suppressing a big grin in these press conferences after these wins.
Yeah, I don't know if Barry noticed, but when he comes into a press conference with his hat turned backwards, you're in for some good stuff.
Yes, sir.
That's his sign that he's pretty happy about the way things went.
It should be, because this team is doing exactly what he wants them to do. Barry, you got a chance to see him yourself. What do you think about the performance of the Jackets, and what do you think about the idea of them again still on course as of today to be a playoff contender?
Oh, well, I mean, first of all, I'm so happy about the Blue Hose. I'm sorry, the Blue Hose. I'm jumping the gun here. I'm so happy about Georgia Tech because I've been a long time watcher and fan since the late 80s. And to see this, man, is just beautiful. So the first thing I want to say is ask Rod, when I saw this year's team being put together with sprinkle in some 4 stars with some 3 stars that have been developed, and then we get some guys out of the transfer portal like Rivers that is just outstanding and adding to our wide receiver team after losing Singleton. What I see is a team that looks like a major college football team physically. Like under Paul Johnson, we had undersized offensive linemen, undersized defensive linemen, but now our players actually look the same size as some major college programs, and now they're performing like that. And I saw an interview. I think it was it Rutherford? Rod, you can probably tell me, but one of them talked about the fact that, hey, we've been waiting for this opportunity to show people who we are and what we can do on this level, and they're doing it, man. So I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season to see them as a team that is on the rise, and they can't sneak up on anybody anymore. So now I'm just very excited about seeing them at Duke. Duke is a team that can beat Georgia Tech. So I'm very eager to see how Georgia Tech is going to respond on the road again, and then in an environment with a team that actually can beat them if they don't come ready to play.
Yeah, and Keith said today that he and the team, they're excited for the challenge. And this is something in the past, we never had to talk about, and now I can remember when we were down there for the preseason, and in the little media area that they have for us, it's right where the team comes off the field and into the locker room. And I started seeing all these big, huge offensive linemen walk by, and I couldn't believe it. And now we're seeing them perform. And I think the most important thing is that the team has grown. They're pretty tight in that locker room, and that's as a result of the type of guys that they're recruiting. They're looking for the right fit. You don't necessarily have to have a 5-star guy to be successful, and some schools just go about it in a different way. But I think Georgia Tech feels like they have the right approach in finding the right fit and the right chemistry, which when you get in some bad situations during the game, that's going to help you out to continue to fight hard and win the game.
Well, you both talked about the fact that the team is looking forward to the challenge, quote unquote, of playing against the Duke Blue Devils. And it's interesting because if you take a look at this, and I didn't realize this, that these teams both are at the top of the ACC rankings. A lot of people are not aware. I even wasn't aware that right now, as we speak, the Jackets find themselves tied for first with Virginia and Duke for number one in
Yep.
the ACC conference. All three teams are 3-0, so they have a half game lead over SMU and a game lead over Miami. Now, of course, we still got a lot to go, but I mean, you're talking Georgia Tech is, as we speak right now, the number one team in the ACC. Who would have thunk it?
I mean, it's crazy when you figure just 3 years ago, you had another coach who shall be nameless, and he was struggling to win 3 games in a year.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Yeah,
people were saying, well, maybe it's just because Georgia Tech's so hard academically and all this other stuff. But Brent Key, having gone to Georgia Tech, having played at Georgia Tech, knew that that just wasn't the case. And he went about it, and he's shown everybody that, you know, you can compete with the rest of the guys that are out there.
oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's like you said, both of you guys said it. The biggest thing is help Georgia Tech is again they have a coach that is translating the marketing push with actual on the field X and O's because the previous coach that was his problem. He was a great marketing guy, a great marketing team. It was turn up, but then it was turned off when you got to the game to realize the team really didn't play to the level of the hype. So that was a big problem. This coach, the hype is there, but it's not just because of hey, we got new unis or we're doing the kind of that different color look. It's because on the field, this team is a really exciting team to watch. Like I said, you balanced on offense, you know, with being able to run the ball or attack it through the air, and defensively, you know, every now and then they get gashed, but for the most part, have been able to hold their own. But again, they do have a challenge playing against Duke. Duke is 4-2 overall. 3-0 so far in the conference, and they're on the road. So definitely going to have to strap it up. Rob, from your perspective, what is it going to take for Georgia Tech to get a win against this tough Blue Devil squad?
I think both teams are going to. Key said today we can't completely stop Duke uh, from putting a lot of yards on the board and scoring the points. We just have to be able to, defensively, we have to get off blocks. We have to limit yards after the catch because he knows they're going to be able to complete some passes. I think the secondary is going to be really. It's a lot of the stuff's going to be on their back, and also the front four has to put pressure on the quarterback. And he's had a few games when they lost where he didn't perform that well, threw some interceptions. So, I think Gideon's going to dial up some stuff. Where we might see some blitzes from different spots on the field, and they got a couple of guys up front. AJ Hopler is just starting to get back from his injuries. I think he can play a bigger role, and you want to see Akilo Stone back out there. But I think other than that, the defense has this knack of giving up plays, and you're thinking, wow, this is going to be a long game. But then when the team gets into the red zone, they step up, and it's. But the one guy that's going to be missing this week, Amari Harvey, he's going to be hard to replace.
Yeah, it's as we mentioned, you mentioned it very early. Duke started off, 0-2, but they have now rocketed back, and they have been a scoring machine since they have moved back past us 2 losses. If you look at their games here, lost to a very tough Illinois squad. The Tulane game, I'm not sure what happened there. Tulane is good, but I think that was a game they should have won. But since then, man, their offensive machine is cranked up. Beating NC State at home, putting 45 up on them, 45-33. A shocking win on the road against Syracuse, running them out of the building at 38-3. And then last week, a week before last, against California, again on the road, Duke put up 45. So this team definitely can score with the best of them. So Jackson have to have their hat on if they're going to win this game against the Blue Devils for sure.
Absolutely. And Jonathan, I want to mention one thing too about this past weekend, real quickly. which I was very happy to see. And then I hope it inspired this current edition of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, which is they honored the 1990 national championship team. And it was great seeing those coaches out there. Paul Johnson was there. He wasn't a part of the staff, of course, but he was there. Ralph Friedgen. You saw some oh my God, there was another coach there. I can't remember his name at the moment. O'Leary, yeah, George O'Leary. Yep, exactly. George O'Leary was there. And then one of my friends from high school, Jeff Howard, who was the backup quarterback on that team. Just a great day of celebration for Georgia Tech. Got the big win, and I hope that momentum from this past weekend carries on the road at Duke, and we put up a good showing up there and come on with the victory, man. So shout out to Georgia Tech, man. Big time program right now in the whole universe of college football.
Yeah, that's what we've been looking for. Go ahead.
I think one of the more exciting things this year is the fan support, without a doubt. It wasn't there before, but you look up in the stands Saturday, 50,838, largest crowd since 2018. So when you get the fans on board, with a fickle fan base that really wants to, hey, you have to prove it to me that you're good. I think that it's, to quote a Georgia Tech phrase, it's full steam ahead.
No doubt, man. And we look forward to seeing more of what the Jackets are going to do this year. As you know, I predicted early on preseason that the Jackets would get to the college football playoffs. I'm still standing on that, and they're making me look good because as of right now, if in fact, let's check, if in fact the season ended today, the Jackets would be ranked number 12, and that means they would be in. So, I just think that all they have to do is continue this way, and then, of course, win the ACC championship. And then now here's the thing. Depending on how they play against Georgia, they could potentially lose that and still get to the playoffs. So, yeah, it should be some great stuff. And, Rob, we're going to be looking forward to you to give us the update and then what's going on. It's been difficult for me to get down to the campus this year because my work schedule has been all out of whack. But hopefully I'll be able to get down to a game sooner rather than later. But if not, we know the man on the scene is Mr. Rob McKenzie. Speaking of that, guys, you know how we do it. Before we let our guests get off the air, we want to make sure that you guys know more about how to follow them and to find them. So, Mr. Rob McKenzie, the floor is yours.
Before I do that, I'd just like to mention that we'll have a seat saved for you whenever you want to get down there, So, but you can find me at gojackets.com. We publish articles daily. We're at all the press conferences, at all the games, and you can find me on Twitter at Rod McKenzie or Georgia Panther. And we welcome everybody to come aboard and enjoy the ride with us.
There we go. The man that knows best what's happening over at Georgia Tech, Rod McKenzie. Also check him out online at gojackets.com. Rod, as always, brother, we appreciate you and look forward to having you on next week. Well, I think is going to be a recap from a great game, the Blue Devils against the Jackets.
Thanks for having me, and it's good seeing you again, Barry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Rod.
All right, guys, we're going to take a little break here. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show, and we'll be back with more good sports talk in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
This is Patrick Willis, and this is Real Talk Sports.
There is Patrick Willis, now a Hall of Famer, and we'll be moving to our NFL section in just a little bit. But first, we're going to talk a little bit more about college football here. Let's go over the college football rankings. We do it each and every week. Still at number one, the Ohio State Buckeyes at 6-0. Number two, the Miami Hurricanes at 5-0 overall. And shake up the world, the Hoosiers from Indiana. Forget about basketball, baby. 6-0, and they have vaulted to be number 3 in the nation. So you got not one but two Big Ten teams in the top 3 in the country. Beat Ohio State Buckeyes and Indiana Hoosiers. Right behind them, Texas A&M, the Aggies at number 4, and then it becomes, as it always is, a SEC show. Right behind them, Ole Miss, 6-0. We're going to see them against the Georgia Bulldogs. Alabama moved all the way up to number 6 now. And keep in mind, this was a team that a lot of people were thinking Kalen DeBoer was going to be out, and now he has moved Alabama up to number 6. And I think again, a lot of that was triggered over their big win a few weeks ago over the Bulldogs of Georgia. Texas Tech, number 7. Oregon slides all the way down after their loss to number 3 Indiana. They were the number 2 team in the country. They're now number 8. The Bulldogs of Georgia, number 9. LSU, number 10. Tennessee, number 11. And Georgia Tech at number 12. So big stuff going on in college football. And once again, SEC has several teams in that playoff contention. Obviously, if everything ended today, you would have, I think, a total of 6 SEC teams in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a shakeout along the way. And, of course, you do have buys for some of the other Big 5 or Power 5 teams. So SEC is going to be represented, but everybody's still got to play one another. So we don't know how it's all going to shake out. Barry, what do you think? Shocking news coming out of Penn State as their head coach has been asked to go home.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, man, shout out to all these agents, man, that make sure their coaches and these players get paid. So shout out to James Franklin's agent with that buyout clause. And I know the majority of his money is the money left on his actual contract from his extension, but still, it's an amazing world that we live in where a college football coach can get paid to go away. And hey, man, listen, he did a great job. James Franklin, Coach Franklin, took over a program that was in hot water after the Joe Paterno scandal. And so I want to salute Coach Franklin for taking over a program coming out of that situation and to keeping it as one of the top programs in the country, which it still is. And he just, unfortunately, this year, these 3 past losses that they had, just sealed the deal for him, because you can't lose all the big games. Well, not all the big games, but a 4-21 record against ranked opponents is not good. And then you lose to a Northwestern, and you just can't do it. So you at least got to win all the games you're supposed to, and then continue to try to improve against the top ranked opponents. And he just couldn't do it, man. And so, listen, $49 million is one heck of a consolation prize not to coach anymore. So, shout out to Coach Frank. And Penn State obviously will be okay.
Oh, no, listen, because already the rumors are abounding. Obviously, the 2 big fishes out there, Nick Saban's name has been bandied about. Don't know if Nick would come back at this point. And, of course, the other guy is the trickster, been at Ohio State and been at Florida. Coach Myers, Urban Myers, has once again, his name has floated up to the surface. I mean, the guy's got 9 lives, bro. I mean, he can act a fool, do what he wants, get fired, and people say, hey, he's a winner. We want him with us. Yeah,
Now, I would not be shocked if Urban Meyer took that job. I would not be shocked at that at all.
Me neither. Because he's chomping at the bit, I think. Yeah.
Is that Nick Saban? I would be shocked if he took that job. I don't think Nick wants any part of that right there. But I can see Urban Meyer, and I saw earlier on a network yesterday, I believe, Matt Rule. They're looking at Matt Rule from Nebraska, the head coach at Nebraska. That is a Penn State alum. So you never know what might happen here, but man, I can see Urban Meyer taking that job. Now, I don't know what kind of job he would do there, but I can see him taking that job.
I can tell you what kind of job he'd do there, bro. He went. That's one thing about him. I mean, we can call him Skanky all he want, but I mean, he's like, there's certain coaches that know how to win. You like them, don't like them, but they know how to get the most out of their players. And because they have a proven track record, players don't mind playing for them at the collegiate level. The pro level, yeah, he's definitely not set up for that. He needs a place where he can, I don't want to say bully, but if he has control over the young man and to some degree over the school, where he's basically the king of the roost. You get the pros, people, grown men. It's like, here, man, I'm not putting up with you talking to me any kind of way. I'm not gonna let you play mind games with me like that, especially because he doesn't have the pedigree in the pro game. Now, if he had the same kind of track record, he won a Super Bowl and been in multiple playoffs, then players would kind of, they'll put up with some stuff. Like they put up with stuff with Parcells and Belichick, guys saying different things, but yeah, they're not gonna put up with that stuff he was doing. Yeah, but in the college game, bro, he's legit.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Jonathan. What do you think? Because now this is a new age. He hasn't coached in his NIL age yet. So that's something different because now you have college players coming with an edge of a pro player. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you still think he'll be successful under this new era of college football?
Look, man, I mean, these guys are putting the grease on the wheels back before NIL. Okay, so I'm sure that he would find a way to put up with some nonsense, but make sure these guys get paid. And that's really it. And at the end of the day, he will spin the tale that, hey, the better you perform here, the better your brand is, the more money you're going to get. Which there is some truth to that. He would be telling these guys that and they would do it. So it's going to be interesting who they pick. But Matt Rule, he's had his ups and downs. Obviously, was outstanding in the college ranks, not so much in the pro ranks. But that happens to a lot of guys. It happened to Nick Saban. Absolutely. Making that transition is not the same for everybody. So we shall see. All right, we're going to talk some high school football. But before that, just really briefly talk a little NBA. The Atlanta Hawks have totally revamped their team, and they look like a team that, and here's the caveat, if they stay healthy, this looks like a team that could and should get into postseason play and be able to make a halfway decent run. What do you think about the moves the Hawks has made, especially with Kristaps Porzingis, a guy who has played on a championship team, played with the Celtics, and a guy that is the most overused word in sports, a unicorn, with his length and shooting ability from the outside?
Yeah, well, again, you just hit the name. Porzingis stands out on paper. Only thing I'm worried about, honestly, with him is injuries. He got injured up there in Boston with the Celtics. So that's my only concern. But on paper, this team looks legit. You have an all-star point guard. You have Porzingis. You have Johnson coming back from an injury. I think he has all-star potential. Matter of fact, they said he would have made the all-star team last year if he didn't get hurt. So
no doubt.
You're looking at a team that is poised. And don't forget about Daniels. He emerged last season as a point guard who can run the team, play defense. And, hey, on paper, the Hawks look good. But like Rod McKenzie said, just like at Georgia Tech, the Atlanta Hawks fan base is a fickle fan base. And a lot of us Atlantans want to know and want to see what you do before we start wearing our Atlanta Hawks jerseys out in public. That's all I'm going to say.
I can tell you one thing. The one thing I give the Hawks credit for, it don't take long. Because State Farm, when the Hawks are playing well, that place is rocking. And so if the Hawks can get out to a decent start, and especially if we can get a couple of those big-time dunks from out of Jalen Johnson and get Trey doing his, as what they call a swishing addition, as my boy Walter Clyde Frazier likes to say. Yeah, man, because the Hawks are an entertaining team when they're playing well. There's just no doubt about it. Because even in their mediocre stage, they always are in the top 5 in the league in scoring. So they can score with anybody. It's just they can't defend anybody. So, but you say that, man. If this Hawks team stays healthy, they have Trae Young, they have Porzingis, Reece Arcee, the number 1 overall pick, looks like he's can take the next step up. Jalen Johnson was on a pace to be an all-star. If those 4 guys can stay healthy, this team definitely can make some noise. But we're going to make some noise in just a second because, guys, the second Tuesday of the week means it's Jonesboro Tuesday. We're going to bring on the head coach and some of the players from the Jonesboro High School football team. But in order to see those, gentlemen, you have to keep it locked right here on the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at alanvigilford.net.
That was, of course, the mighty marching Cardinals. And believe it or not, folks, that was a clip from the Jonesboro against North Clayton JV championship game, not the varsity. That was the JV, and they were out in full throttle. And speaking of Jonesboro High School football, the proud head coach of that program, Mr. Timothy Floyd, is with us. Coach, how are you, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. You have to be excited, Coach. The JV boys, they turned it up and took care of business, and you guys are now, I guess, officially the Clayton County JV high school champs.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the guys. They stepped up, and it was a good game, good, tough game. You know, it was exciting to have the band and the cheerleaders out and all the fans out, and it was a good game.
Now, and you know why also Coach is happy, Barry, because he knows that those guys will be on the varsity. So he can reload. He's doing like Alabama now. He can reload, get some new guys in there. Well, speaking of this great team, he's got several of the players here with us, so we're gonna get these guys on camera. We can see them popping in here one by one. Let's go with let's see here. Who do we have here? I see him in the green room. Well, somebody is like not on the camera. Okay, so we're gonna get a guy that's gonna encourage us. He is one of the key coaches here because he does all the social media and he takes care of the O-line. I'm talking Coach Serb is in the building. Welcome back, sir.
What's going on?
See, Coach, this is what I like about Coach. He's like, I'm coming on. I don't care if I'm in my car. I don't care if I'm in the supermarket. I'm coming on the Real Talk Sports Show. So I appreciate him for that. Another young man who's been on the show repeatedly, and he was honored, and we were there to see it. The Super 11 for the first time from Jonesboro. John Tavius Wyman, the athletes in the building. John Tavius, what's up, man?
What's going on?
There he is. Another guy, a lot of times you guys hear me on the broadcast, I call him the Mighty Mike. Number 2, who toast that rock. Lucius Murray's in the building. Lucius, what's up, man? Last but not least, I think we have Isaiah Davis in the building. Isaiah, you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
There he is. So we covered the whole thing. We got the speed, we got the shiftiness, we got the power. We got it all here, all encompassed. Well, Coach, talk to us. You guys have a big game next week. I'll let Barry jump in just a second. You guys are playing a legendary program by name, and it seems like they're back. The Griffin Bears. What are you guys kind of looking at against this ball club, who over the years has been one of the best teams in the state?
Well, they're on a roll now. You know, coaches doing a good job. They always have some really good athletes. They're well coached. It's going to be a good physical contest, and it's really for jockeying positions for the region.
Mr. Barry Brown, you've been there, done that. It's been a while. Just to remind everybody, when you played, what did your team do, sir? I think your senior year.
Well, first of all, salute to the Jonesboro Cardinals, man. Those JV players. I know a couple of JV players on your team, the Mac twins, over there, Coach Floyd. So definitely shout out to you, your JV team, and then definitely your varsity team making a great run this season once again. Jonathan, man, Griffin back in the day, man. I mean, legendary names coming out of Griffin, Georgia. When you started talking about Willie Galt and the Clemens family, Charlie Clemens, that I played against, and then Omar Ellison, man. So they've always, like Coach said, they've always had great players, man. And one of the things that was significant about the Griffins and the LaGranges of the world and the Noonans back in the day, it was only one high school in those towns. So every kid went to the same school versus Clayton County. Well, at the time we only had 5 high schools, and hey man, we just spread out. All the talent is spread out. So it was a real tough challenge always playing these, we just call them the country schools, and with their size and their speed and their athleticism. But like Coach just said, hey, we physical too. We a tough team too. So, hey, I just expect the Cardinals to go in there and put them claws on them Cardinal claws on them. And I'm handling your business this Friday night. Yes, sir.
Well, sir, your offensive line has been very key to the Jonesboro victory. You guys have been able to, when the victories you've had, you guys have been able to run the ball very, very well. What's been the key to your lineman this year, sir?
Every day, every game, me and Coach Jeff, we preach the same thing. Play our brand of football, dominate, and have fun doing it. So we feel like if we continue to do that, we be successful running the ball and passing the ball or offense, period.
No doubt. Gentlemen, how do you guys prepare for a big game like this? Trying to keep that balance of saying, okay, we're fired up for the game, but not getting overhyped. John Tavis, how about you? What's the key for you going into a game against a big team like Griffin?
I really say, keeping my head, make sure that I keeping the team together. It's senior night, so it's our last time going out here playing at home with each other in the regular season. So just make sure we, know what the goal is at the end of the day, and don't get carried away.
Yeah, you guys said it all year. Your goal is to get to that championship game. Lucius, how about you? How do you handle being in a situation where, again, big game coming up, last home game, senior night? How do you, again, stay up for the game without getting too up for the game?
So for me, I say just staying mentally and physically prepared. Just know I got a big game. Just trying to stay focused during practice. It starts where practice, where we stack days, getting reps in, pre-gaming for what the other team doing, the opponent, just seeing how we gonna game plan against them and just showing it in the game on Friday.
Jay, how about you?
Really what Lou said, just picking up off of him, just making sure I'm doing my job and our team, us as a whole offense know what we're supposed to do, and just being able to be vocal, and if we need something, just speak up, and that's really it. Just keep working hard each day.
Did y'all talk to young Mr. Govan about how to get on the air? Because he just like, I don't see nothing. I don't see no avatar. I don't see. There he is. There he is. Come on, young man. There we go. You know what it was? He was waiting for me to bring him on stage. He was like, "Nah, I ain't doing anything to you." All right. How about you, young man? What's the secret for you? What's the key to keep yourself level-headed but still be up when you're playing against a team like Griffin?
Just did what Lou said. Mentally be prepared. Every day in practice, just give it 100%. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, yeah, you guys are gonna be very important because you guys are like the high school version of the Falcons. Y'all like that 1-2 punch. They give you a little bit of this, and then it's you, and it's Lucius. So how do you guys kind of, as the Bible scripture says, iron sharpen iron. How do you guys kind of, work together to kind of be in sync when it comes to game time, so that that running attack can run smooth? Lucius, go ahead. I'll ask you first. Go ahead.
I can go first. Well,
Yep.
I said that's a great statement you pointed out. 'Cause I said we got a great team, great players, so it just help us out even more. Just prepare for Fridays, as we know we got a great team, so we able to go head to head in practice just to be focused and prepared. Like I said, mentally and physically prepared for Friday.
Like I said, it looks like you guys are ready. Both teams are on a roll. Griffin coming in, I think, winners of 4 or 5 straight. They've had put up some big numbers. They beat the brakes off of Northside last week, 60-14, 38, 37, and 28. So they've been scoring. But like I said, you guys, the one thing that I'm going to ask everybody, and Barry, I think you've seen it, Coach, in the last 3 years, it seems like your team, it doesn't matter what's happening, but you guys, if that game is anywhere in the ballpark of being close in the fourth quarter, you guys have always seemed to find a way to either tie the game or basically take the lead to win the game. What's been the difference these last 3 years for you guys to be able to be locked in these high-pressure situations?
I say the biggest part would be those fifths we run on Mondays. That's a tough conditioning, and you just got to get it done. And one thing I strongly believe in is you don't ever quit no matter what the situation is. You just keep fighting, keep plugging, just never quit. That's on the field, classroom, in the community, in life. You just keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. It's not an option to ever quit.
Now, hang on a second. Now, fellas, what are he talking about? What's he doing to y'all on Monday? What's going on? Let me get to my favorites. Hang on a second.
Yes.
I'll tell you what happens on Monday. What coach doing?
We got fifths, so it's like a conditioning where you got to start at one end of the corner of the end zone or the field. So picture a whole rectangle. You start at one end of the field, and then you go all the way around. Then you got to make it back, and then usually it'll probably be 10 push-ups at the end. But nowadays we'll just line it back up and then go again. But I mean, it's a hard conditioning. Like he said, we just got to go out there. Make sure that we get through that. But at the end of the day, it's about your mental, for real. You can't really. One thing he always preached, you always can't say you can't. Like, one thing you can't say is can't. Like, that's not a word in Jonesboro. You can't use that word. Never quit. Always got to keep going.
I know you're smiling, man. What do you think about these young men talking about the attitude, the mental aspect of the game?
Well, hey, man, looking at Coach Floyd and the success this program has had, I mean, you hearing it directly from the players, Coach. I wrote down some words here, so I know this is what the coaches are preaching, led by their leader, Coach Floyd. So watch this. I heard preparation. I heard focus. I heard mental. I heard never quit. See, let me tell you something, young men. That drill y'all are doing, so we didn't run that drill. Coach Floyd, check this out. The great coach Willie Oswald at Morrow in the summertime, we were undersized. My senior year, our offensive line averaged 180. And so, but that team went 9-1. We went 9-1. And so in the regular season, so what it was in the summertime, we were running 220s. Linemen, receivers, DB. I was a DB. We running 220s, and we had them timed. So depending on your position, you had to run them in a certain time. And so he said, hey, we're not going to be the biggest team by far, but we are going to be the best conditioned team. And in the fourth quarter, when everybody's huffing and puffing, we're going to be running right by them. And that's exactly what we did. So all 3 years of my high school career, we were probably the best conditioned team in the state of Georgia. And that was one of our keys to success. And so I see that's what's happening with Jonesboro right now. Coach got them mentally prepared to, in the fourth quarter, it's nothing. They ready to roll like it was the first quarter. And that's the key. That's a key to success. That's a key ingredient to success, being well conditioned. And John Tavis just said it.
Yeah, I give these guys credit. Like you said, I've watched them for the last 3 years and done a lot of games where they come from behind. Well, I'll be on there saying, well, I don't know, guys, Jonesboro's down. We'll see what we can do. And now I just tell everybody, guys, I've seen several times when the Cardinals have been down, so don't go anywhere because anything can happen. Now, Coach Sharp, I see you back there. You've been kind of chilling and grinning. What do you do with your offensive linemen? Because you got some big guys there. They look like they're ready to handle their business. What have you done? Anything special in this last year or two to get these guys on edge and ready to do what I've seen them do week in and week out?
I mean, no, we ain't done nothing special. Just coach them how we coach them. Me and Coach Jeff, we tag team. I think we're best two O-line coaches out there. So, that's how we do things.
Where's my boy? Where's that old school, Barry? This is how we do it. There we go. They're telling you right now. There we go. That's the Jonesboro way. That's it. Well, gentlemen, listen, one last thing I want to ask. I know you guys have been very engaged in the community. Anything special that you guys have done this year or anything you want to talk about really quickly before we let you guys kind of relax after all that hard practicing?
So actually next weekend, we're hitting a couple of community service things on the 25th and October 26th. And actually, one more thing that I did want to bring up, I recently received, I got 100 victories. So I was super excited about that. And thank and the coaches, and want everybody to know that I play only a small part in that. And in doing that, we're going to collect 100 pairs of new socks to donate to Fountain of Faith Missionary Baptist Church homeless ministry.
Okay.
So we're going to get that information out so we can get those stocks collected and donated.
That's a beautiful thing. Gentlemen, now, I like to hear that. Appreciate all you guys for coming on. Now, what you guys going to do for Coach? At 100 victories, that's pretty big. What y'all going to take him out? You going to give him some money? What y'all going to do?
They're going to help us get those socks.
There we go. Well, guys, listen, man, we appreciate you as we do each and every week, each and every month for coming on here. And good Lord willing, me and Jason will be out. We're going to try to actually get some pregame. That's something we've been trying to do all season long, to actually get a little pregame. A lot of people are like, hey, man, we want to see some of the other stuff. So good Lord willing, will be on the field. Jason will probably have his camera in your face. Just wave to him right quick, because we're going to do it up big, because it's a big game for you guys in the region. And hopefully it'll propel you to continuing on for the state championship.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Second Tuesday is wrapping up. We've been here with the Jonesboro Cardinals. So remember, guys, if you want to watch the game, you can't get out, no worries. 7:30, go to realtalksports.net. It is, of course, the high school game of the week. Griffin Bears, hosted by our own Jonesboro Cardinals. As Coach told me last time we played a tough team, it ought to be a slobber knocker. So y'all need to go ahead and do what you need to do. Okay, we want to get a quick shout out, Coach. You say, yep, how to be a servant leader.
That's my good thing right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think you know her real well, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, that's my good thing.
There you go. Listen, see, when y'all grow up, you're going to get that. But don't be like me. Don't be like an old guy still looking for the good thing. I'm just telling you, young cats. Hook that up early. Get yourself hooked up early. Don't be hanging out here like me. All right, everybody. We appreciate you for joining us here. And we'll see you guys. Good luck on Friday.
Let's go, Burrow.
Good luck, guys. Handle your business.
All right, guys. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment.
Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on realtalksports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on realtalksports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
It's my little happy place music. I kind of like that music there, a little up-tempo beat.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy on that song.
A lot of energy, a lot of energy. And then my boy, JB Smooth, that guy is a funny man. Yeah, and nice guy. I mean,
he is very funny.
Yep, nice enough to jump on there
Jonathan,
with the Real Talk Sports Show. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jonathan, real quick though, JB Smooth. I mean, he's always been a funny guy, but the show that really got me to took me to another level of respect for him and how funny he is and entertaining he is was a Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. I don't know if you've ever watched that show with him on it, but man, the show is hilarious. So check that out.
I've watched it. I've watched it a little bit. The thing is that a lot of people don't understand that show because that guy Larry, I guess he wrote a lot for Steinfeld back in the day. Those guys are friends. So yeah, man. So I mean, very, very talented. And I've not seen the episode with JB Smooth, but now you done told me I have to kind of click on there, man, see how he does his business.
Man, you got to see it. The interaction between them two is hilarious.
I can imagine.
Like I say, it shows you another side of JB Smooth. I mean, he's his regular funny self, but it's another side of it. It's hilarious, man. Yeah, hilarious. So shout out to JB Smooth.
JB Smooth, he's a nice man. We appreciate him. Well, man, listen, we're going to get a little NFL. We're hoping that the Queen will join us here. Maybe she's delaying because her Lions, they kind of got taken it to them. Chiefs knocked off the Lions. We'll get to that a little later. Like I said, we'll hold tight and wait for the Queen, hopefully join us here. But there were some interesting games here and some scores that I think kind of were almost shocking. First of all, the Panthers, people are making fun of them, but hey, man, don't look now. The Panthers are 3-3 overall.
Hey,
3-3 for the Panthers.
Yeah, you're right. Well, they people didn't laugh at the Panthers. They probably laughed at the Panthers coming into the season, but there's one team that didn't laugh at the Falcons, and that was the Atlanta Falcons getting beat, 0-30. So now we're seeing, now you're seeing what the Panthers were working on in the offseason, and unfortunately, they have gotten their confidence, and now the NFC South is looking like, other than the Saints, and the Saints are competing too. So again, listen, there's no easy game in the NFL. That's what this season is showing us right now. So remember the great sports movie, my favorite sports movie of all time, Any Given Sunday. It's a game of inches, and that's what we're seeing every single weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. And you look here, like you said, again, the Panthers, their defense has really been the issue. Obviously, we know they shut out the Falcons 30-0. They dominated the Cowboys, even though the score was 30-27. Held the Cowboys to less than 300 yards in total offense, but more importantly, held them to just 31 yards on the ground. And that was really the key. Only 15 first downs for the Cowboys. They were aided, of course, a lot by penalties. They scored late because really the Panthers were taking it to them, man. I mean, they just, like I said, defensively, Cowboys played with a short field. I think they had a couple of turnovers. But at the end of the day, man, Panthers knock off the Cowboys 30-27. Bryce Young, not spectacular, but efficient. Let's look at the stats overall. 17 of 25, 199 yards, but importantly, 3 touchdowns and just 1 interception. But the guy who's been carrying this team, who knew? Rico Dowdle. I think he played for the Cowboys last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Cowboys let him go, and he said, good news, I'm about to beat the brakes off you. Dowdle had a game for the ages. Over 200 yards in total offense, almost 250 yards total offense, 30 carries for 183 yards. If that was enough, 4 receptions for another 56 yards. Yep. He was a one-man wrecking crew against his old team. He beat the brakes off him, bro.
Well, if you remember, before the game, they said he made the
I lost your audio for a second there, Barry. What happened? Did you hit the mute? I lost your audio for a second. Something happened.
Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Barry's out. I'm gonna try to reboot it, guys. We're gonna do a reboot.
Hold on 1 second.
And we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. It's a quick little reboot.
Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at Allen Vigil.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Yeah, Barry, apparently there's something on my end. I'm not sure what's happening with my headset because now all of a sudden I'm not hearing anything from anybody. So we're gonna figure this out. We'll figure this out, guys. So keep it locked right here. We'll put the little banner up. We're experiencing technical difficulties, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more of the Real Talk Sports Show. The show must go on, and it will. So don't go anywhere. Well, I'm going to listen to an interview that we had with a guy who's one of the great all-around athletes of our day, Brian Jordan, the guy who played for both the Braves and the Falcons. We'll let you guys listen to him on the interview as we reboot and try to get this thing back up and running in just a moment.
Guys, look, I got Brian Jordan right here. Guess where we're at? The Atlanta Touchdown Club. Brian just bringing, some great remarks. Hey, man, you said something about you being involved with children's books. Tell people a little bit about that real quick, how they can find out more information about what you're doing.
Yes, first you can go to BrianJordanFoundation.com or twosportman.com. Yes, I have 6 children's books out there. I got reading challenges going on in Forsyth County and Richmond County and Augusta. I love reading the kids and always motivating and inspiring those guys to read. The knowledge is in the books, and man, with the way this world is today, we need to read.
And check this out, doing it through kickball challenges. How about that? Listen, Brian, again, we appreciate you. How can people follow you on social media and, just kind of keep up with you on social media?
What? I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. The official Brian Jordan 33.
That's right. Not the imitation, the official. Brian, thanks for joining us, man.
All right, buddy.
The man, Two Sport Man. See, you thought Dion was the only guy who could do that. I told you.
That's right. That's right.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now, Jonathan?
Hopefully we're back in the middle of it here. Barry, you there, sir?
So can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah, sometimes we have to change browsers. I'm not sure what happened, but make it do what it do. Praise the Lord. We're back in the building. Yeah, man. Like you said, you got to give credit to the Panthers. Like you said, now at 500, and as you mentioned, now a serious threat to make some noise here during this season. Another team who surprised everybody, the Chicago Bears, knock off the Washington Commanders 25-24 at the buzzer. What do you think about the Bears? This team now, I mean, hey, they're 3-2. A lot of people are making fun after Detroit beat the brakes off them, but they've come roaring back. What do you think about this Bears team, and do you think they can, make a run themselves possibly to get into postseason play?
Well, absolutely. I mean, coaching matters. So now you see Caleb Williams has a coach that's investing in him and obviously developing him off the field. And now you're seeing the fruits of that labor on the field. So it's all about development in anything we do. When you start talking about youth education and sports and our student athlete achievement program, all that is the same. Development, growth. And I love to see what Caleb Williams is doing. And now with that team gaining confidence, you're seeing them play like they play these last 2 to 3 weeks, where here's a team that they had beat last year that beat them on a last-second Hail Mary last season. Now they came back this season and beat them by 1 point last night in a great game. So, hey, shout out to the Chicago Bears, a legendary franchise with a new coach, a new quarterback, and it looked like, hey, they're starting to believe.
Yeah, we look at Williams' stats so far this year. In just 6 games, he's already thrown for close to 1,200 yards. People say that's not a lot of yards, but the big key here is he continues to stay on pace as far as his ability to throw more touchdowns than interception, a pretty good ratio. 9 TDs, 2 interceptions. But here's the big thing. Last year, quarterback rating 87. This year, up at 98. And that's really the key. He's been able to kind of direct the team better. He's been seeming like more in control, and he's been able to really put up some consistent numbers. Like nothing spectacular, no huge games. You had a big game against the Cowboys, threw for 298. But the big thing is he has been very accurate. And let's look at his quarterback ratings in these games. Okay, 86.6, 91.9, 142.6 against the Cowboys. That was his best game where he had 4 touchdowns, 298 yards. And he's up at 98.6 for the Commanders. Again, 252 yards, 1 touchdown, but more importantly, no interceptions. So Caleb Williams is showing why he was a top-ranked quarterback and the number 1 draft pick overall in the NFL just a few years ago.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Johnson, I mean, see what he did with Goff. Everybody had written Goff off, and he came to Detroit, and he's turned into one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So it's the same thing you see happen to Goff in Detroit. Now you're seeing the beginning of that in Chicago. And if that's the case, hey, man, watch out for the Chicago Bears by the end of this season. They could be a force if Caleb Williams continues to play like he plays. Because as everybody knows that understands pro football, this is an offensive league. They want offense. The rules are set that way. All the teams are loading up on wide receivers. Hey, man, there's a lot of great games ahead of us, and Caleb Williams can be a part of those great games.
No doubt. Big shout out to Wade. Turney says, I see you fellows got it. And he said, God bless. Well, God bless you, brother, as well. Appreciate you. Mr. Turner, a guy that knows a lot about football. And we appreciate him for tuning into the broadcast. Let's continue to stay in the NFC North. We'll take a look here at the Green Bay Packers. Packers have been a little up and down this year. An odd record, obviously, because they have a tie, 3-1-1. But they laid on the Bengals, a team who was banged up beyond any comprehension. Packers win that game 27-18. Odd score there. Jordan Love got back some normalcy, 19-26, 269 yards. Josh Jacobs, the big old beast, 18 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, the Bengals, Joe Flacco now, a Bengal quarterback, 29 of 45, but only 219 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns. That means that basically it was Mr. Checkdown.
Yeah, well, the reality, and I love your facial expressions, Jonathan. The reality is, what do we expect from Flacco, man? At this point in time, you've heard me say this on this show. I'm not going to get a quarterback at this stage of his career. I'm not doing it. And so once you see that, and you basically giving up on the season, in my opinion. I don't know who the Bengals are going to be, to be honest with you. Defensively, they struggled last year. Now I think they probably improved. However, with an offense that cannot stay on the terrible position. And so I don't expect anything from the Bengals until Joe Burrow gets back. And that probably won't be until next season, because I definitely would not rush him back for this season.
Oh, no. And this one, it's Mr. Checkdown. When you have Jamar Chase, a guy that put up 1,500 yards in receiving, let's get Jamar Chase's stats. 10 receptions, 94 yards.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like
that's
9
it.
yards of reception. Yeah, so. And I think that's Jamar. He's probably looking at Joe. Joe, over here. Up here.
Hey, well, we know Chase is a beast. You're talking about one of the top 3, definitely a top 5 receiver in the league. If not, I will put him in the top 3, honestly. But hey, man, Joe Flacco is not the answer. Everybody knows that. So good luck to the Bengals with whatever their strategy is. Good luck. Maybe it's the number 1 pick overall. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough for them. Overall to kind of make some hay here. Like I said, when you have a player like Joe Flacco, a player like Joe Burrows that cannot play. Yeah, man, the guy's one of the best players in the league. So, it's going to be a tough sled. Vikings, meanwhile, also as NFC North, they are having they had a bye last week. They have a tough game against the Eagles. And man, what's up with the Eagles, man? I mean, it's like every year there's drama with that team. I don't get it.
Well,
I just don't get it.
First of all, they have the formula, Jonathan. Never forget that. They have the quarterback, they have the running back, and they have the wide receivers. You can put an S on their wide receivers. So I believe they're gonna be fine. But as we all know, it's very hard to repeat the next season after you win a Super Bowl. So because every team, when they play you, they're going to play their best, as we saw with the Giants this past Thursday night. They played their best against a team that's saying, "Oh, that's just the Giants," So it's a mental thing. But if the Eagles lock in and they get back to form, then yeah, I believe the Eagles will be there at the end of the season. One thing I know about this world, in this media world we live in now, that because of all the talk shows, just like Real Talk Sports here, but we have a different perspective. Hey,
yes,
we're going overboard after every game. It's still early in the season. So hey, the Eagles have the formula, and I think they'll be okay by the time we get to the end of the season. Hey, there it is.
Yeah, and here's the thing that I always find kind of funny. Okay, people continue to talk about this man. He's been to the Super Bowl twice, had not been for, and he admits, a bad fumble. He'd be a 2-time Super Bowl winner, and yet people are still talking about Jalen Hurts. I mean, I don't get it. Okay, I'm just going to read this real quick. This is Jalen Hurts stats so far this season. He's thrown for just about 1,200 yards. He has 8 touchdowns and only 1 interception.
Yeah.
1 interception the whole year. And you're getting on this guy. Now, of course, everybody says, oh, man, his QBR is down. You know, he's not getting the ball out to A.J. Brown, getting some big plays. I get what you're saying, but, I mean, the guy's only thrown 1 interception. That's it. The whole year.
Yeah.
Now, has he missed some plays? Absolutely. There's been a couple of downfield throws where he's probably missed. But again, nobody's perfect. And the guy just led you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, everybody's talking about that play where he missed the wide receiver going up the hash. So listen, Jonathan, again, he's only human. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I do believe they're going to get it straight here going down the stretch. They've already proven it. They have nothing to prove to anybody. They've already proven it. So now it's about them internally getting back together, coaching, because coaching matters. The players, Jalen Hurts getting locked in, A.J. Brown getting locked in, that offensive line getting locked in, Barkley getting locked in. And this is one of the things I will say. They need to focus on Barkley again and don't get caught up with everything else. Get back to that running game, and that opens up everything else, period.
Yeah, again, I think, the Eagles right now are, they're in that little phase they get to. Everybody get mad with the coach get mad at the player. I mean, everybody's talking. A.J. Brown like, we didn't have no meeting. So, I mean, this is the kind of shenanigans that go on. You think to yourself, come on, man. But again, the team is so talented. They have so much depth on defense. Offensively, you got arguably 3 of the top 10 players in the league. So you're right. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think the Eagles will round in the form. I think this is just a little Philly. Their little Philly, I don't know what you want to call it, but they kind of have this where everybody kind of gets in their feelings. But at the end of the day, they know how to put together professionals and win the ball game. Let's go to social media here. My man Sully's in the building, and all he wants to know is Tree coming on? Wow.
He's tired of looking at our ugly mugs. You know what I'm saying?
Not Hey
That's
Barry.
all that is. Thanks, Sullivan.
First comment is Tree coming on. Well, Tree did text me. She's running a little bit behind schedule. She's going to try to get on the air with us. Like I said, that's why I'm trying to hold back and not talk about her Lions. And then maybe that's why she's not on. Maybe she's like, hey, I don't want to talk about my Lions because they did get beat kind of bad. All right, let's go back to social media. Barry, who's that jumped on with us there?
Oh, man, that's my Morrow. That's my Morrow brother. H.C. Hardy, Cornell Hardy, one of the Morrow Mustangs. So shout out to the whole Morrow Mustang Nation. Let's see what we have. The Eagles have a new OC this year. Oh, yeah. Kellen Moore, now the head coach with the Saints. That's right. So Shane Stetchen, coach of the Colts, and Brian Johnson. Yeah. So, yeah, true. That's true. They got Cornell. You right about that. Definitely a new OC, and that could be a part of the problem. Again, coaching matters. Yes, sir. Yep. And there you go. Yep. So hey, Mr. Cornell Hardy, that's why you are who you are, brother. And matter of fact, hey, can I give him a brief shout out of where he works, Jonathan? So people can go holler at him. Yes, sir. So go holler at Mr. H.C. Hardy at D&K Suit City, Morrow. Holler at him. He'll make sure you have all your needs. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got Christmas coming up. And then, hey, go ahead and get ready for the prom next season. He'll get you taken care of. And, hey, if you have any special anniversaries and weddings, hey, holler at my man, Mr. H.C. Hardy.
Yes, that's our future sponsor. They've been waiting on us to send us an updated package. We're going to do so because we really want them to be a part of what we're doing so we can go ahead and give out some gifts this year to players of the month and player of the year. We've been talking about it, but we're going to be about it. I don't know whether we're going to do it November, December, January, but I am determined, and we're putting it out here right now that we're going to do something to reward these young men at the end of the year. So the offensive coordinator will be a guy we'll be talking to make sure we can make that happen. So,
that's
no doubt about it. Let's wrap it up here with some more NFL stuff. And as you guys know, we're going to always end the program talking about the Atlanta Falcons. But again, let's go ahead and take a look around the league. Here's another surprise team. Let's go in the AFC. How about the Indianapolis Colts? are rolling at 5-1 after their big win over the Cardinals. 31-27. Cardinals once again finding a way to lose late as the Colts outscoring 14-3 in the fourth quarter to pull this game out. And how about a guy that was discarded, Daniel Jones? Dude, he's balling out for the Colts.
Hey, Jonathan, listen. You got Daniel Jones doing his thing. And shout out to him. Hey, man, anytime you can get a rebirth, a refresh, a do-over somewhere else, hey, man, you've been blessed. And this young man is taking full advantage of that. So shout out to him, man, because everybody, including myself, wrote this man off. So, hey, salute to him, man. And, hey, the Colts are somebody to deal with. You got to deal with those Colts. And now, watch this. I've been a fan of his since college. He has your namesake, Jonathan Taylor, man. Listen, that guy can tote the rock. And to me, he's one of them old school running backs, man. Give him the ball 20, 25 times a game, and you're going to see some work put in. So, hey, shout out to those Colts, man.
You know, I know one guy watching all this stuff going on now. Of course, he's already retired. But I know he's feeling some kind of way. Matt Ryan, he said, hey, man, Jonathan Taylor was banged up when I was there. I wouldn't get no help, none at all. And seriously, I mean, that was the whole thing. Bring Matt Ryan in, and he kind of give you what he played when he first was playing with the Falcons when they had, the Burner Turner. But Taylor looks like the old Jonathan Taylor in a game against the Cardinals, like you said, just pounded away. 21 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown for Taylor, which, as you know, Barry, makes everything go much smoother as a quarterback when you have a legitimate running attack. We can run that play action fake. It's much more efficient, much more effective. And Daniel Jones taking complete advantage of that. 22 of 30, only 212 yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns and just a single interception. Again, Colts come from behind to knock off the Cardinals 31-27 and find themselves atop of the AFC South at 5-1. Like I said, who knew? Yeah, who knew? Speaking of shockers, how about on going the other direction? What has happened to the Ravens?
Hey, injuries,
buddy.
Injuries, man.
They look anytime, at team, sir.
Yeah, anytime you got the two-time, let me repeat, two-time league MVP out, you're gonna struggle, man. And Jonathan, you know this. A lot of people do know this, but for the ones that don't know it, let me say this right now. All these teams have to learn how to invest in a backup quarterback. Because if you lose your quarterback in the NFL and in big-time college football, usually, unfortunately, you're done for.
Right.
So that's just the reality for the Ravens right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the other thing too is could we be seeing the final big moments for the stiff arm machine? Derrick Henry,
King Henry
doesn't look like Derrick Henry.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated. I don't care what sport you play in, just in regular everyday life, Father Time is undefeated. And I knew something was wrong here at the beginning of the season when he had these back-to-back games where he's fumbling the ball. He's not a fumble machine. So, hey man, listen, Derrick Henry, hey brother, I'm a fan. I'm a King Henry fan. So I don't want to see him go out like this. So I hope he gets it together. I hope Lamar comes back. They can go on the run and at least make it to the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for with this team. But hey man, it's looking real bad right now. You know, looking real bad. Instead of him being a back that people are scared to tackle, now he's looking like, hey man, I'm about to come. He look like a. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but listen, people are teeing off on him now, and that's not good for him because he's a big target. So when he's not running full speed, you just a big target that I can take down. And there's some monster linebackers in the league.
Dude, and I saw the same thing happen in the last year of Julio Jones. You know, Julio never before took any big shots, but man, that last year, he was getting guys were like, hey, we about to get him. And yeah, if you look at the game against the Chiefs, totally dominant game. Chiefs knocked them off, knocked them to 1-3 in that game. Derrick Henry, 8 carries, only 42 yards. And the big guy was actually Justice Hill. He had 3 carries for 76 yards, including that long touchdown. Even Lamar Jackson had more rushing yards before he got injured, 6 carries for 48 yards. Here's what happens, Bo, especially with a big-time running back like that. It's already been proven. Anytime a running back gets much over 260, 270 carries in multiple seasons, that guy's going to burn out. And, you're asking Derrick Henry to do it on the back end of his career. On top of that, nothing nice has happened there. So, man, it looks like the king is going to be dethroned.
Yeah, it could be. It looks like it, man. It looks like it. So, I mean, but like I say, I'm a fan. So I hope the whole overall Ravens organization can turn this thing around and they can make a run here on the back half of the season when everybody gets healthy. So hey, we'll see what happens, man. Yeah. And you just brought up something about the running back position in general. That's why they were trying to devalue the position and not put all the money into it that they have in the past, just because of what you just mentioned, Jonathan. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, because now a quarterback can throw the ball 40 or 50 times in a game, but you can't keep pounding these guys like this because, again, it just wears them out. All right, guys, you know what time? I mean, it's the NFL, but we got to talk our Atlanta Falcons. Keep it locked right here with more of the Real Talk Sports Show, but we'll be back because you know who we got? The experts about to join us. You know who that is? Well, stay tuned.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
All right, guys, we're back here to Real Talk Sports Show. Again, I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, tag team partner, Mr. Barry Brown. And, of course, if we're going to talk to Falcons, before we do that, let me get H.C. Hardy's last comment. Yeah, I forgot this, Barry, that Ricky Williams carried the ball almost 400 times twice. Yeah, you trying to kill somebody, bro. In the NFL, man. That's just not a happy thing. Well, like you said, again, we want to talk the Atlanta Falcons. Everybody's excited. The Falcons have won. And we always want to bring the guy that knows more about the Falcons really than anybody. He's the embedded beat writer for the Falcons for AJC Sports. He also does a great job each and every week of giving you on-the-scene stuff with his own blog. And he is an Esquire par excellence. I'm talking about the one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is back in the building. D. Led, welcome back, sir.
Hey, thank you, Reverend. Thanks for having me on the show this evening. And good,
good to have you. And we can actually have always a smile on D-Level. Now we have a big smile. Falcons actually won. You were there. Give us your take on that game. Again, it wasn't perfect, but first give us what you thought was the strongest point about the Falcons game, and then some of the things you think that, hey, you know what? They still got some work to do.
Yeah, certainly they were able to run the ball with some authority and got the big home run. Arthur Smith said Bijan Robinson was a home run hitter, and he hit his first home run last night, that 81-yarder that helped them get out to the 21-7 halftime lead. Drake London did his thing, 158 yards, 10 catches, 16 targets. So Michael Penix was able to unleash enough offense to, kind of stun the Bills, kind of rock the Bills, and the defense put together a game plan that didn't let Josh Allen beat him. They attacked him. They went after him on 46% of his dropbacks. They got 4 sacks, 6 hits, and a lot of pressure in his face, causing him to throw 2 interceptions. So the Bills' offense never got rolling. He doesn't have any weapons. It was kind of, you got a Mercedes out there, but you ain't got no tires on the car. So well, that's kind of what the Bills looked like last night, and they, Dalton Kincaid was his best receiver, and then he didn't play, so he was a mysterious DNP. I don't remember if he was on the injury report or not, but he was their lead receiver at 286 and 3 touchdowns, and he didn't play. So the Falcons took it to him, and those are the good things that happen. We can nitpick. They had a missed field goal. They had also, had some issues with the second receiver spot. Casey Washington didn't catch it. Ray was inactive. Kyle Pitts didn't do too much. But collectively they did enough to beat the Bills, and then hold them off with a 14-play, 68-yard drive. And they did get the field goal to make it a 2-score game with under 2 minutes to go. So big time stand-up game against a team that's been to the playoffs 7 of the last 8 years in 2 AFC championship games. And the Falcons, a team that haven't been in playoffs in 7 years. So that was a big message sent to everybody on the schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It was really probably one of the best all-around games we've seen. Are you as surprised as everyone else? Now, we know that the Falcons, we talked about, hey, man, we thought they could possibly be, at least maybe a grade above a middle-of-the-road team. But after 5 games, the Falcons are ranked in the top 5 in defense. First of all, did you see that coming? And second of all, what's been really key to that?
Yeah, the big thing there, Rev, I just ran the numbers today, and I got them. They're number 1 overall in yards, number 1 in passing yards, 17th in rushing yards allowed, 144. That's still a lot, and 8th in points. So you want to be in the top 16 in those 4 categories, and of 3 out of 4, you are in the top 16, and 1 of them you're 17th. So didn't see that coming with a new coordinator and with so many new players. The 4 rookies over there, Leonard Floyd's new. Zach Harrison's been moved inside the tackle. Devon Diablo's new. And your only returners are the cornerbacks, AJ and Mike Hughes. So didn't see it coming together this fast, but that's a good foundation for them because, they're attacking. Now teams are going to be looking for them to attack, and you can fake them out now. Play some zone, attack, come from another way, So you want the offense thinking over there, and they've got this attack style defense down cold, so much so that they knocked the Bills off with it on Monday Night Football for the whole world to see.
No doubt. I think Barry, your boy H.C. Hardy's got a comment there for all of us, I guess.
Yes, sir. Hey, H.C. Hardy is saying, hey, I'm calling the defense the brick squad. I like that under Coach Ulbrich. So I like that. The brick squad. I don't know. We got to maybe D Orlando can let us know. Hey, what you have a name for the defense yet, D? And then I got a special thing I want to bring out here, if you'll be so kind, Jonathan, in a second, after D Orlando Ledbetter tells us, does he have a name for this defense?
No, I'm just gonna call him the defense.
Yeah, D-Led's got to get deep in the season, bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna. You don't really get no nickname for you shut down Josh Allen with no weapons. You did what you're supposed to do. Marcus Mariota, J.J. McCarthy. You lost to Bryce. You lost a little Bryce, and you let Baker. You held Baker to 135 yards, but you let him run around on 3rd down and steal the game. So yeah, you don't get no you're 3-2. You don't get a nickname for 3-2. You got you gotta keep playing. Last year they were coming up with all these nicknames. We the knockout boys, we the jump street this, we the no, y'all 6-2 with nicknames. I need nicknames at the end of the season. So I'm just gonna call them defense.
Call the defense. All right, our man, Fantasy Football Go Strategy said we saw that top 5 defense ranking in fantasy. We ranked them right at number 5 in the preseason for the 2025 season. And H.C. Hardy says, yeah, they had. I didn't realize that many. 24 pressures on Josh Allen and 4 sacks. I guess the other thing too, D-Led, we've been kind of used to the Falcons kind of skirting around with pressures and stuff. Are you surprised they've been able to actually get people on the ground for the first time, I would say, in about 8 or 9 years?
Yeah. I don't count pressures. That's just like boo. I scared them. No, we're not trying to scare people, Reverend. We need folks on the ground. We need hits. Count the hits, count the sacks. So they have 4 hits and 4 sacks. I'm not counting the 14 almosts. Now we was running right at him and he threw the ball. That's not good. So we got with the 4 and 6. That's a big though. That's good because we haven't been seeing that. I mean, they're on pace for 47 sacks. Got to put you in the top 16. Before this game was 42, and that would have been right outside at 17. So you keep getting 3 and 4 sacks a week, you're gonna be up in the leaders for sacks and so forth. So good start. Keep it going.
Yeah, that kind of sums it up. All right. Well, okay, we talked about all the good stuff. Where do you think that this team can improve? I mean, obviously, we don't want to nitpick after victory, but what are the things that you've been seeing this whole season where you say, you know what, they need to kind of still work on what?
Yeah, the passing attack. Mike's got to hit some of these balls. We saw late where some balls are going in the turf. We don't know, if he was getting hit or something wrong with his arm. You see some throws out to his right. We saw that in Charlotte where he was missing those throws over there. So they've been working on it. So, they know that's where it's going to be some open people at. He's going to have to hit those balls, be a little bit more efficient in the passing game. That's something to work on. And then, the development of that second receiver. Darnell Moody's been hurt. Casey Washington had a great camp. We need to see what he could do. Ray McLeod's obviously in the doghouse, got benched, was inactive yesterday for the first time here. So the receiving core is going because they're going to be open because the running game's working. So when they start throwing off the running game, everybody knows he's going to Drake London. They're going to take that away. So the natural progression of the offense is to fill out the passing game, get more accurate in your throws. And Reverend, I know you like it when he runs a little bit too. So that's on the table for him. He's not Michael Vick though, Reverend. He's just left-handed.
Listen, I'm not. I'm gonna say the same thing I say every year on this show. I'm not looking for the quarterback to be Michael Vick. He is a one in a generation player. Lamar Jackson's been the only guy that's really come close to that. And before Michael Vick, there was Randall Cunningham. Those guys don't come up but maybe once a decade. So I'm not. All I'm looking for is, as you remember, there a couple of times in that game. I forget what drive it was, but there was a spot where literally the field was wide open, and Mike could have just ran and picked up a first down. That's all I want my quarterback to do. I don't want the guy running around and trying to all these design runs. I don't want any of that. What I want is that when you have a third down and you got man-to-man, everybody got their back to you, that you go peekaboo and get you about 4 or 5 yards and get a first down and keep the chains moving. That's all I need. And also I need you to be a little nimble, Joe Montana-ish in the pocket. Like Joe Montana, people think he was just this great runner. What Joe was, he was very, very effective in moving in the pocket and, avoiding just enough to get that pass off. That's all I want from Michael Penix. I don't need him to try to imitate Michael Vick. You're right. I don't need any of that. Nope.
I got a question.
Things there. How about on defense? You talked about the aggressive play. Anything else you can see on defense? I guess it's really hard to say anything when you got top 5 in so many categories. But one area would you like to see them maybe tighten up just a little bit on defense?
Yeah, they're a little light. And Coach Belichick said that last year. It's a smallish, faster defense. So a really, really good running team will load it up. And, if they score, they can play keep away and maybe do it like that. So I want to see the run defense get a little bit better, for the long haul. If you're going to be playing, against teams that are going to run it, a Derrick Henry or somebody like that, you're going to have to stop the run. So I'd like to see those run numbers come down. I thought they had James Cook bottled up yesterday, and then I looked at the stats and saw he had 87 yards. So
me too. Yep.
That was a quiet 87, but he got most of it in that second that drive to start the second half. So that and another thing, Reverend, we've seen receivers being open here. Okay. And Mike Jones is giving chase most of the times when the receiver's open. I'm pretty sure that he was supposed to get some help from Jesse Bates yesterday on that first play of the game. He's looking for help. Jesse's down there jumping the tight end. they gave him some freedom to jump stuff, but then Mike took a bad angle to the ball. So, people going to look at that defense and say, oh, I got some money over here at 21. So he's going to have to tighten it up on that corner over there. The nickelbacks are doing great. D. Alford did great, got him another interception. He was subbing for Terrell. The kid Billy Bowman was doing a great job. Rookie Xavier Watts is doing a good job. Got beat in Carolina on a real nice route combination where, again, probably should have got some help from Jesse Bates. But, they are playing their scheme. They're fundamentally sound. Got to tighten up the coverage because, they're going to block. Somebody's going to figure out how to block all that heat up. And they might not run, but send 2 or 3 people in their routes. And if they're double moving you and stuff, you better be on your game and ready to make a play on the ball. So that's those are some of the things. But the 2 inside linebackers are playing really great, attacking, getting downhill. Devon Diablo and Caden Ellis dropping in the coverage. We saw Diablo cover the tight end. He saw when the tight end put his hands up, he blocked it. So it wasn't face guarding, but he got the ball. He got the ball down without, turning around. So that was a big time play. So you see him making plays down the field, in the backfield, stopping the run, blitzing. And that's just part of what this attacking defense is. And it's the inside guys that are doing it right now, not all the where we put all attention on the young outside guys.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's good stuff. We got a couple more questions. Then we're going to wrap it up here. Let's go first to H.C. Hardy. What's he saying there, Barry?
He's saying, do you feel the Falcons will be making any moves before the NFL trade deadline on November the 4th?
No, it's not baseball. I don't think so. The big one is Kirk Cousins. The contract is untradeable because, it's 3 things if you're going to trade Kirk. You got to trade him to the team that could take the money. Nobody's taking the money. Then Kirk's got a no trade clause, and he's got one to go. So, that's got to work. Then your compensation has to be right for you to get rid of Kirk Cousins. I mean, you can look around the league. There are a lot of teams need quarterbacks. But they're not going to overpay for a 37-year-old quarterback. So that's the one that can't go. You probably can't do. But maybe a receiver, maybe a veteran receiver come in. If Darnell Mooney doesn't get right here in a couple weeks, you go the receiver route. But I don't think they're going to be giving up any of their draft picks. They already gave up the number 1 for Pierce. So you're going to try to keep your draft picks. If anything, you might try to get some. And I guess the other elephant in the room is, hey, what about Kyle Pitts? He's a free agent at the end of the year. You could franchise tag him, but you going to get him $14 million? I don't think so. So maybe somebody is willing to give you a 4. I'll take a 4. 3 or 2 is probably too much. But I wouldn't trade him for a 5. I just rode with him for this year because your receiving game's not any good, and wish him the best at the end. But and he said he wants to stay. He told some local media that he wants to stay. So that would be things for me to watch, for us to watch, as the trade deadline is 3 weeks from today, November 4th.
There you go. Last question. Fantasy football GOAT says Falcons will continue to make some noise and improve, but teams like the Lions, Packers, and Eagles will be too much trouble for them in the playoffs. I don't know about the Packers, man. I grew up with being a Packers fan, but I don't know, man. The Packers kind of erratic. Lions and the Eagles, it's going to be tough to get them out. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Lions, the Lions, they appear to be the class of the NFC. But what'll happen is Dan beats his team up. He's like the new Marty Schottenheimer. They're gonna be injured again, like the end of the year. They're what? Why we got 15 people injured? It's like because you've been hitting all year, Dan. And that used to happen to Marty Schottenheimer every year. Getting the playoffs, and half of the linebackers are on the sidelines. So, Washington got them last year, so they no sense worrying about them. They dropped the balls the year before, so but they certainly are a good team. The Eagles, you got to figure they're gonna get it together, but then maybe not. That post Super Bowl thing is real. But yeah, don't worry about Green Bay too much. No, don't worry about Dallas. Rams don't have enough. It's kind of wide open in the NFC for a team to make a push all the way through, just like the Commanders did last year.
No doubt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do. We want to make sure that you know about our guests and co-hosts before they leave. So, D, Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Reverend. You can find me on ajc.com. My Twitter's at DOrlandoAJC. You can go to the page and hit the link, drop your email in there, and get the Dirty Birds Dispatch newsletter that comes out every Thursday at 10 a.m. Thanks so much for having me, Reverend.
D, Orlando Ledbetter in the building. Appreciate you, D-Led.
Appreciate you.
Mr. Barry Brown, the floor is yours.
Jonathan, I've been waiting all night to throw this chain on for the Atlanta Falcons, man. I got to do it right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go Birds. Go Birds. Rise up. All night, Jonathan. So listen. Thank you for having me on the show as always, man. I appreciate it. Always have a lot of fun sharing, and especially want to shout out those Jonesboro High School Cardinals. Man, I love what Coach Floyd is doing with those young men. And you can tell because they talked about mental preparation. They talked about being focused. And, hey, young men, go out there and handle your business this Friday night against those big, bad Griffin Bears. Now, if you want to check in with me, Coach Brown, Youth Education and Sports, that's our nonprofit organization. Visit youtheducationandsports.org. All the information is right there to get in contact with us. And then our materials are the Student Athlete Playbook, Success in the Classroom, Sports and Life, where we help student athletes wherever they are at that moment when we meet them. And we help them develop a plan for their lives that they can go on and be the great adults that they're destined to be. Character matters, young people. Character matters. Thank you, Jonathan. This is Real Talk Sports.
That's Mr. Barry Brown in the building. All right, guys, before I go, I always like to remind you, I am actually a real live minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I want to just remind you, please, if you do not have a relationship with God, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, that's something you need to do immediately. Why? Well, you got to be blind not to see all these crazy things happen in the world, all the things that the Bible has prophesied about the Lord's return being imminent. Well, it's more imminent now than ever before. And it's real easy, man. It's just not a big, huge deal. You have to do two things. Number one, you got to repent of your sins. Why is that? Because nobody is suitable to a holy, perfect God. Matter of fact, the Bible itself says that all have sinned. Me, everybody else, anybody that's saved, anybody that's a preacher, we all have sinned. But the difference is we have repented of our sins. We believe that Jesus Christ came here to the earth, died for our sins, and more importantly, rose from the dead. And because of that, two great things will happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. After thing according to his will. And number two, when you die, you go to that wonderful, beautiful, spectacular place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no more pain, no more pandemic. You never get old, you never die, you never cry. Place is the most beautiful place that you can even imagine. Matter of fact, you can't imagine it. Every building ordained and decorated the most beautiful jewels ever. So if you like bling, it's there. Streets paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you avoid that nasty place called hell. All the things I just mentioned in heaven, the beauty, the glory of God, everything there, the light, the love. It's fiery, it's dark, it's horrific, and you're locked in with the devil, all his demonic hosts, and all the worst people ever to live upon the earth. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply say, God bless you, and have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever may apply. So long, and take care.